Anytime you have an advancement in technology, it's going to get rid of some tasks. And some tasks will eliminate some jobs. Like, let's be real.
So for someone who doesn't know much about AI, why is AI important?
It's a great question. So, I think there's a lot of misconceptions and there's a lot of almost fear surrounding AI with people who don't understand it. For those of us who understand it more, there's not the confusion and there's not that fear. But for a majority of people and a lot of real estate agents, there is fear that one, is it going to replace my job, right? Or two, I don't know enough about it to be comfortable or even understand what it can do or what's possible. And so for those people, I would just say, look, AI is not going to replace your job. AI is not at the place right now in technology where it can replace a real estate agent. Okay. It's just not. It's not there. So right now, your job is safe, but an agent that uses AI will replace your job, right? Like we're getting to that point where it's like, dude, AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's not just some fad. Like it just continues to get better, right? At a very fast rate. We've all seen that. And so I believe that this is the biggest technological advancement since the internet. I really believe that. And if you look at real estate agents and you say, all right, is there anyone in the room who has been in real estate over 25 years? If you have hands go up in that room, you could ask every single one of those people, say, look, before the internet, you had an MLS that was what? A catalog, a book, right? Mm-hmm. That you got bi-weekly or monthly. If you didn't evolve with technology and you didn't evolve with the internet, where would you be right now? All of them would say we'd be out of business. It's the same thing. Like if you don't evolve with technology, you're going to lose. You have to evolve. And so the people who are understanding, okay, AI is here to stay, and this is a real thing, the people who are implementing now are going to be the ones who win, just like the early adopters in implementing the internet. Look at Jeff Bezos, won that game.
Yeah. Yep. That's beautifully said. We had the privilege of interviewing Tristan from Lab Code Agents, and we asked him how he saw the future. And he was like, bigger teams are going to shrink into highly efficient agents that are leveraging AI unlike anybody else.
I love it. Yeah. It's so true.
And with knowing what you know with AI now, what can an agent do to leverage that to make their time more efficient?
Yeah. You hear a lot of people, they say, well, AI is just going to make everything less human. I would say it's the opposite. If you utilize AI to essentially help you get all of those low value activities, the non-human activities, like you didn't join real estate to be a copywriter. You didn't join real estate to post content on Instagram, right? That's not why you did it. You probably joined real estate because you like helping people, you like the face-to-face interaction, and you're good at sales, you're good with people, you're good with relationships. So if you can use AI to leverage yourself, to get you more time, you'll be able to do all of the low value activities, the copywriting, the content creation, all of those things at a much higher speed so that you'll have much more time for the things that matter, the high value activities, the revenue generating activities, the things that are going to move the needle, the face-to-face interaction and the relationship building. So AI will really, if you use it right, make it more of a human thing than it was before because you have more time to be more human. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's interesting because a lot of people only know about, when you think about AI, they think of ChatGPT, but there's so much more around that. Yeah. And I hope the team puts this video in. I made a video of John loving on me, saying, oh, I love KIRO. He's the best person in the world, with AI, right? And I was like, yo, this is insane. I literally stole your voice.
Yeah, you took a video of me,
yep.
Give them a little bit more information. You took a video of me saying something else and gave them enough sound clips to replicate my voice.
Yeah. So now I'm happy that I mumble and speak fast because no one can replicate my voice. He speaks very well, so it's very easy to copy his voice. So catch.
It's scary.
It's a silver lining. But with that being said, what are some of the like from your experience? What are you teaching agents now to utilize in AI specifically?
Yeah, let's jump into it because I know you got a lot of exciting stuff to share.
For sure. I mean, there's a lot of generic things that agents can do that most agents are already doing. And those are, for an example, creating listing descriptions and property descriptions with, say, ChatGPT. That's kind of a given right now. People are creating social media posts, say Facebook posts, email newsletters. That's kind of like your standard that you're seeing everyone utilize. Now, I'm not saying those are bad things. You definitely should be doing those things because that will save you a ton of time. But there are certain things and certain ways that you can use AI, even just ChatGPT, to where it will give you a much better specific result. And it's all about how you ask it, it's all about how you prime it and understanding the differences. So for the person who's like, okay, why is ChatGPT so important? Well, ChatGPT is an LLM, right? It's a large language model. That's what Bard is. That's what Bing is. You've heard of those different models. They all do a similar thing, and that is they have conversational responses, right? So the difference between an LLM and just say a standard search engine is when you search something or ask something in a search engine, you're going to get a static list of results of articles that could answer your question, or maybe they won't, right? You don't know. You have to read the article. With ChatGPT and these LLMs, you ask a question and you get a conversational response, and you can continue that conversation back and forth, right?
Yeah.
So if I were to type in who won the Super Bowl in 1995, it's going to tell me the Dallas Cowboys won because they're the greatest team in America. Okay.
Last time they won too. I'm just kidding.
But if I then follow up with who were the quarterbacks, that's all I say. If I did that in Google, it's going to have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
But ChatGPT is going to say, well, Troy Aikman was the quarterback. And I don't even know who it was for the Steelers. I think it was like Cordell Stewart or something, or I don't know, maybe it was O'Neal. But it's going to say the two quarterbacks from that game because it references everything I've been talking about in that conversation to know, okay, this is what they're talking about. For real estate agents especially, if you can ask ChatGPT certain questions and prime it and prime it with current market data, you can then create content after you've done that market data and done summaries of the market data, and you'll actually get real live results, and you can base things off current data. So for those of you who have used ChatGPT, you might know one of the limitations and one of the most frustrating is that it's only trained through September of 2021, right? So for those of you who are using it and you're like, man, you know what? I guess I'm just going to have to create generic content that has nothing to do with the current market then. Well, there are ways around that. So for an example, there's a web extension. If you go on the Chrome web store, you can type in web chat GPT. So WEB CHAT GPT, no spaces. And there is an extension that you can turn on web access when you ask a question. So like if I did it, if I asked a question, who won the Super Bowl in 2022, without web access, ChatGPT won't know. It'll literally tell you, sorry, I'm only trained through September of 2021. Well, I turn that button on, I ask the same question. It says, well, the Rams won, they beat this team, here was the score, this was the date, whatever. So you can do the same thing with real estate data. Turn on web access and say, all right, give me a full market summary for the housing market for this zip code or this market or this city, wherever you are, and include inventory, include the current mortgage interest rates, give me a full summary. It's going to write you a full summary based on today's data because it's using the web to pull that data.
Wow.
And once it's done that, it has trained itself on this data to where then I could say, okay, now write me a 60-second Instagram reel about the current housing market in Greensboro, North Carolina. Boom, now it's accurate. If you don't do that, it's going to act like it's September of 2021. It's going to be like, man, interest rates are super low. It's going to give you all that inaccurate data. But people don't think outside the box. They're not thinking, oh, well, let me train it first and then do the content. Everyone thinks it's this magic bullet. You put something in and it's going to be 100% perfect. But they have to understand you really have to work with it.
Yeah. I like how you said prime it. Prime it first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting flashbacks. So the proprietor of the studio, his name is Scott, who you were speaking to earlier when we jumped on. He's an absolute nerd as well for AI, and we would chat about different things you could do with ChatGPT and stuff like that. But the web access is so valuable because a lot of people will be limited to what they can do. And it's interesting for the people who say AI will replace human interaction. You have to almost hire people to train you on how to use it. So it's not really going to be a replacement, but it's definitely a tool.
I would just say, you know, to kind of piggyback on what you're saying there, you know, anytime you have an advancement in technology, it's going to get rid of some tasks, and some tasks will eliminate some jobs. Like, let's be real. You think about like the advancement in telephone technology. Well, we don't need telephone operators anymore, right? But what advancements in technology do is it creates more tasks that are different, that will require more, you know, more jobs to fulfill those tasks. So the tasks may look different, the jobs may look different, but you know, we might not need a telephone operator now, but we need people who do networking and different things for cell phones, and we didn't have that before. Right. So AI might get rid of some tasks, but it's also going to create more tasks and more jobs as well.
Yeah, I look at it in like maybe I'm heartless, but if your job can be replaced by AI, then you probably should bring more value to whoever you work for, right?
There you go.
Yeah, that's true.
If AI is on your ass and you're worried about losing your job to AI, then maybe you should bring more value and you'll never lose your job.